Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make crispy rice paper dumplings. They're delicious and really easy. So, enough talking. Let's get cooking. So I'm going to be doing a ground pork crispy dumpling, but you could do ground shrimp or tofu or keep it simple and just do vegetable or any combination thereof. Here I have pre-shredded cabbage. It just makes life a whole lot easier. I also have some vermicelli rice stick noodle. I'm using portobello mushroom, but you could certainly do shiitake or even white button, whatever you have. Some garlic, some ginger, and some scallions. So this is the rice paper we're going to be using. It's a spring roll wrapper, and it kind of looks and feels like plastic, but becomes pliable when you wet it. I also have some brown rice spring roll wrappers, so I'll make a few of those too. So I'll start by taking 3 cloves of fresh garlic and about a 1-inch piece of peeled fresh ginger and putting that into my mini food processor and just mincing it up quickly. That's perfect. Now I'm just going to quickly chop my green onion or scallion. I have 2 of them. And I'm also going to measure out my rice stick. It comes in a block. I've broken off a piece. I need about 1.5 ounces. This is just over. That's fine. Now we just need to soak our rice noodle in some hot water for about 4 minutes just to soften it up. Once your rice noodle has softened, you just want to drain it and then run it under some cold water to stop the cooking process. Drain it well, and now we're going to just cut it up into small, bite-sized, manageable pieces. I find that using kitchen shears works best. And there you have it. Now we could set that to the side. Now let's start cooking our filling. On my stove, I have a medium pan. I'm putting the heat up to medium. And I'm just going to add 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. Once the oil's hot enough, we could swirl that around the bottom of the pan and add our ground pork. Here I have 8 ounces or ½ a pound. And you're just going to want to break that up into smaller pieces. Again, make sure your heat is around medium. You don't want to brown the pork too much and dry it out. Now we can add some salt to taste to just season the pork so it's not bland. And I'm also going to be seasoning my ground pork with white pepper powder as opposed to cracked black pepper. It's not a big deal if you don't have it. You can use cracked black pepper. I just prefer that flavor in my Asian dishes. Next, we'll add our ground garlic and ginger mixture to the pan and stir that in and allow that to cook until it becomes fragrant. And then we can add our shredded cabbage. Here I have 2 cups. Just add that to the meat along with ½ cup of chopped mushroom. Again, I'm using portobello, but you could use whatever you want. And just mix that together well. And now we can add soy sauce. I'm adding 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. So now just mix the soy sauce with the vegetables and the pork. And then we can add our rice noodle. And then you can just stir in the rice noodle with the pork and the vegetables and coat it with all those beautiful flavors. And last but not least, we'll add our green onion to the pan, mix that in, and then you can shut the heat off and allow it to cool slightly so we can handle it. Now it's time to assemble our dumplings. So let's take a sheet of our spring roll, which is rice paper, and just dip that into some room temperature water. Make sure you coat both sides well. So now it's beginning to soften up and become pliable. So I'm going to take a 1/4 cup and scoop some of the mixture and place it into the center of our rice paper sheet. Then take the top half of the rice paper and just fold it over the filling into the center of the wrapper, and then fold one side and then the other and fold it in half. We'll do this again and put a second sheet of rice paper on our dumpling to ensure that it doesn't rip and that it's nice and crispy. So here's the second piece. Take the original dumpling, put it in the middle, take the top, fold it over, fold each side over, and then fold it in half. So here you have one dumpling. Now I'm going to take some parchment paper. They are very sticky, so I'm just going to place them on some parchment paper so they don't stick to my cutting board and rip. Also be careful that they don't touch each other because they'll stick together. Now let's make one with a brown rice wrapper. Honestly, I don't think there's a difference in flavor. There might be a difference in health benefits, but I do think that the brown rice paper wrapper looks prettier. Now, I only end up making 4 of the brown rice wrappers, but there is enough filling for 12 dumplings. So here is one complete one using the brown rice wrapper. So now I'll just continue this process until all the filling is used up and I have my 12 dumplings. So here are all of our dumplings, so let's get to frying. On my stove, I have a large fry pan. I'm putting my heat up to medium, and to that, I'm going to add some grapeseed oil. This is a high temperature frying oil, and I'll add just enough to coat the bottom of the pan. Once your oil is hot enough, you can begin to add your dumplings. Be careful, don't splash yourself with the hot oil, and don't crowd the pan. These dumplings crisp up fairly quickly, so after a minute or two, you can begin to flip them over. If you like them a little bit more golden brown, you could certainly cook them a little bit longer, but it's absolutely not necessary. Once both sides of your dumplings are nice and crispy, you can remove them from the pan and place on a wire rack to drain the oil. So here are the brown rice dumplings. Again, there's no difference in flavor. I just think they look prettier. So now that I've finished cooking off all of our dumplings, let's go plate it. Let me grab one and cut one open for you. Listen to this crunch. You can serve this with a sweet chili sauce or with any Asian dipping sauce. Well, there you have it, guys. Crispy rice paper dumplings. I hope you guys try and enjoy the recipe. And don't forget, like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. And as always, guys, until next time, bye.